Hello, bonjour, guten tag, buenos dias, dobry den, welcome to Mii Paintings. I'm Veronika Mii, and today I would like to share with you very special bubble acrylic pour. So let's start at the beginning. Firstly, I need to start with my acrylic pouring. I'll be using all these beautiful rainbow colors on a square canvas which is size 30 times 30 centimeters. This is the consistency of my colors, like honey, and this is cerulean blue. Then I've got mauve, cadmium red, cadmium orange, Indian yellow, yellowish green, and sap green. I will also be using this dark blue as my first swiping color, and then I also use white as a swiping color. Oh, and my pouring medium, I use this PVA glue as a pouring medium. I mix it by myself. I mix 60% of PVA glue and 40% of water. That creates my pouring medium, which works well for me. Usually I mix 1 part of pouring medium and 1 part of acrylic colors, but sometimes I have to put more pouring medium in. Oh, and I also add 2 drops of silicone oil in each color, in my blue as well, but not in my white at the moment. I will put silicone oil in my white later on. So that's 2 drops in each color. If you put more drops in there, it doesn't create more cells. Your painting will be just more oily, so be careful with your silicone oil. And then I mix it up just a little bit, not too much, otherwise the silicone would get mixed too much in your colors and it wouldn't work the way it should be. So that's all mixed, and now I can pour my base color on my canvas. This is mixture of pouring medium and white acrylic color. So all in there. You need to make sure you cover everything, and I'm gonna keep a little bit of that white for later on because it will be my swiping color. Now let's spread it everywhere, even in my corners. Make sure it's completely covered with your base. And now time to pour my colors. I'll be pouring these puddles of colors on my canvas and it creates beautiful cell structure. So that's sap green and then my yellowish green in there. So it's puddle in puddle. Yellowish green. It looks nice when you mix like contrast colors. Don't mix 2 similar colors all together because it wouldn't create a nice contrast. So it's nice if you pour different colors. And now time for my swipe. I'm going to pour this dark blue on the edge of my canvas. And I'm using this piece of plastic sheet which works well for swiping. I'm just gonna put it on the edge of my canvas and push down and gently swipe all of these beautiful colors. And wow, you can already see these beautiful cells forming on my canvas. I'm going to use my heat gun to pop some of these cells. I'm using cheap heat gun from Lidl and I just switch it on and it helps to pop all of these cells. And now I know loads of you will think I'm going crazy because I'm going to ruin this completely and make another swipe, but I promise it works because this is my favorite technique and it helps to create more beautiful cells. I'm adding 2 drops of silicone oil in my white and mix it up a little bit. And it's sometimes better if your white is a little bit thicker than the rest of your colors, because then it creates nice cells. So pouring my white on the edge and destroying this beautiful acrylic pour, but I promise I know what it will create, a beautiful combination of cells. So let's swipe all the way back like this. And I know loads of you think you've ruined it completely, but I'm going to show you a little magic. I will put all of these colors everywhere, tilt them into each corner. so they mix up all together and create a beautiful combination of colors. Yep, that's done. Now I'll use my heat gun again and create some beautiful cells. Let's see. Wow, can you see that? Can you see this beautiful rainbow mix on my canvas? That's perfect. I love when these colors mix together and create a beautiful abstraction. Look at these beautiful, amazing cells mixed all together. Such a perfect cells. Cool. And after 10 minutes, I decided to make these balloon stamps on my canvas because it helps me to create an interesting background for my bubbles. And you just push and it creates this structure which is just a perfect background. Of course, you don't have to do this if you don't like this, but I personally like putting these balloon stamps on my canvas and creating these interesting shapes in my Acrylicpour. So I'm putting like 10, maybe 10, 12 balloon kisses on my canvas, here and there. And I always wipe off some color from my balloon. I'm using wet baby tissues. And this is the detail of my balloon stamps. Perfect background for my bubbles. Welcome back after 5 days. My pour is dry. It turned out absolutely amazing, and now it's time to embellish it with my favorite bubbles. And before you start making this, make sure your pour is completely dry, because if you don't wait long enough, you will peel your paint off and you could ruin your painting. So don't rush it. Make sure it's completely dry before you start painting on it. And as a nice tool for my bubbles, I use my yogurt cups, which I can use again and again. It has got nice round circles here, so I can see where my bubble will be, and I can paint or draw these nice round shapes around my yogurt cups. And I use whiteboard marker for drawing these circles, because if I make a mistake, I can easily wipe this off. It is a cheap whiteboard marker from store. It was €1, so yep, I can start painting my drawing my top bubbles, and then I want to create a border, and for that I'll be using my masking tape, but I'll show you this later on. Firstly, I will decide where my top bubbles will be. That's my first bubble, and then the other ones. So my top bubbles are done, and now I want to create a border for my painting. So for that I'm going to use this masking tape. And now it's time to draw some bubbles, which will be hidden underneath my borders. And for that I'll use a smaller cup and draw my bubbles. That's it. Now I'm going to fill all these spaces with dark blue color, which I used for my swiping. And this blue tends to get really dark, so it's almost like black, but it has got a nice bluish shine inside of that. So I think it will match nicely together with all my colors. And I have to do one more thing before I take off these tapes. I have to paint shadows on the bubbles, which will be hidden underneath my border. For that I'm going to use this type of brush. It's size 10, but you can use whatever brush works for you. This is just a cheap one from Kaufland. And I'm going to put a little bit of black color here and put a little bit of that black on my brush and then tap it like this. You don't want too much color on your brush. And then just go like this. And it creates a nice shade. You can do it also here because this is dark blue, so you want some nice shadow here. This one also will be hidden. Make sure your tape is sticks to your canvas. Now it's time to show you how to create a beautiful bubble effect on your rainbow pour. I'll be using this type of brush, blending brush, size 11. I buy these in local store. They are quite cheap, but use whatever brush you prefer. Sometimes I use cheap brushes, sometimes more expensive ones, but it depends on your taste and on your possibilities. So I've got a little bit of this black here. I'm going to put it on my brush, which is slightly wet. I put it in water before I tapped it in black, and then go around whole bubble like this. And it is a pour, so it behaves differently than normal canvas. So you have to, sometimes if you put too much silicone in there, you have to clean it off with wet baby wipes, but I didn't put too much silicone in, so I don't have to clean it off. So I always put my brush in water and try to blend my black. It creates that nice 3D effect. And then I will try to blend this black color, and it creates nice shadow. So all of my bubbles are painted now, and here comes the time for painting shades underneath each of my bubble. I'm going to show you a little detail. I've got a little bit of black here. My brush size, this is size 3, but you can use different size if you've got different size of your canvas. And I put my brush in water and then put a little bit of that black on my brush and create a shadow. Light source is coming from this way. I will be painting reflection the last, but light source is coming from this way, so your shadow should be here. Let's try. And I'm going to blend this black and create a smoother shade. This one also needs some shading underneath, so Let's paint a little shade here. Okay, so finally time for my reflections. Light source is coming from this way, so my reflection will be here on the top of my bubbles, and I will be using my acrylic marker for that. You can also use white acrylic color, but with your acrylic marker I find it easier to paint these nice reflections. So it will be here. Let's paint one here. Perfect. So that's my reflection, one on the top and the other one very thin line here on the bottom. So now it's time to paint the rest of them and show you the finished result. And this is the result of my bubble fluid art, and I want to turn this into even bigger size, so I'm gonna take a good quality photo of my art. I use my professional camera for that, and I'm gonna let it done in local copy center and turn it into this bigger size, which is 60 by 60 centimeters. It's a print on cotton canvas with wooden frame, and I would like to embellish this with some gold details. The quality of this is amazing. So look at the scale of these bubbles. I love how big it is. Now I'm gonna use this Mixture Relief Pebeo glue, where it has got tip like this, and it's a special glue on which you put some golden or silver foil. And there is also this metal leaf glue, but you have to use brush on this glue. It looks like this, so I prefer the one with a tiny lid like that, but there are lots of options online. So just search for Pebeo Mixture Relief glue or some metal leaf glue. And I'm gonna go around like this with glue. It takes about few hours till the glue gets dry. It's sticky when it's dry and it's see-through. So I'm gonna do this on all of my bubbles and all these borders as well. I also decided to paint the outline with white markers, so it's easier for me to do a nice round shape like this. You have to be careful not to stick your hand inside of that glue. So when it gets dry, it's sticky, and I'm using this embossing golden foil. Just search for embossing golden foil online. I'm sorry, I don't know what's available in your country. And I put it on the top of my glue, and it sticks to it, and it creates a beautiful golden relief effect. Like this. And this is a result of my special bubble pour print with golden details. I love the scale of this print, so you can turn your fluid art into something completely unexpected and amazing. If you liked it, please give a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. You can also join my Facebook group, create with me and show us your beautiful art. I also have got Instagram page Me Paintings, where you can see all of my artwork. And I want to show you how it looks on my wall. And this is how it looks on the wall in my art studio, and I'm very happy with this piece. So I hope you enjoyed this special video, and I can't wait to see you again. Bye!